Hello there. Welcome to the Vampiric Employment Office. Take a seat, get comfortable. My name is Becca, and I will be the one helping you on your journey to acquiring your next job. That's right. It is nice to meet you. Yes. I already took the liberty of doing a little background check on you. Formalities, you see. And it looks like that you are currently in good standing with the Vampiric Council. Now this is very important. Do you know why? Yes, well, you see, according to our vampiric law, in order to get a human job, be allowed to get a human job, you need to be in good standing with the Vampiric Council. That means dues paid on time, laws abided, so on, so forth, things like that. But you don't seem to have any kind of record with them, any past misdemeanors or anything, so good on you. It makes my job a whole lot easier. But there are a few things I'd like to confirm with you today before we jump into finding you your new job. How exciting. Remind me, how long have you been a vampire? And this is important. Wow, okay. So not too long. Oh, I've been one for centuries. But we are not here to talk about me. No. And where are you currently residing? What's your living situation? Cave, home, manor, mansion. Okay. That's great. Now, in terms of jobs, for vampires, I like to think that there's 3 types of jobs. First type, obvious, for money. A job to acquire money, because unfortunately, just because you're undead, just because you're eternal and an eternal being, does not mean you are suddenly rich and don't have to earn human money in order to survive. So that's unfortunate. So there's jobs just to get a salary, get money to pay for rent or whatever. The second type of job is one for food. There are certain jobs that are short-lived, you move on from them pretty fast, but they're really easy, or they make it really easy to acquire humans for consumption, you know. So there's jobs to get food. Nothing wrong with that. No one will judge you for that. Not at least amongst vampires. The third job is one for fun, because when we are eternal beings, we never die unless we come into contact with a wooden stake or some other means of putting us down, so to speak. Hopefully that never happens for you or me. Life is long. Life is forever. Life is monotonous. It gets boring. And so sometimes the best thing to do is to get a job. One that'll keep us entertained and hopefully pays well as well. That's right. What are you looking for? Why have you come here today? What kind of job are you hoping to get? Are you in it for the money? Are you in it for the food? Or are you just looking to be a little more entertained in your little vampiric life? Excellent. That helps quite a bit. Can rule out a few things. Now I have a list of questions here, just standard things, to help kind of see what types of jobs might suit you best, okay? Pretty standard questions. One might even argue they're ones a human might be asked before they are placed in some kind of employment. But that's really the goal, is to blend in. You kind of have to if you're going to take on a human job, right? So it's fair that we ask these questions. And if you're confused about anything, or you have any questions for me, stop me and I'll be happy to answer them. Great. Firstly, before you were turned into a vampire, tell me, what did you do for work? What was it that you did with your time? Really? Did you like doing that? Was that something you enjoyed doing, or? Very interesting. Well, unfortunately, that's not really... Maybe it's something one could make work as a vampire, but I'm gonna say probably not. So it's time for a career change for you, my friend. And besides that, any work experience that you want to share with me? Okay. Good. And also, right off the bat, are there any jobs that you just simply do not want? Because I'll just mark that down and we'll just skip right over them. Save us some time. Okay. You don't like that. I get that. Most people don't want to do that. We'll save that one for the humans, right? You can do that. Great. Next question. What skills do you have that could be applied to a job? And this question has two meanings. First meaning, we'll answer this part first. Just basic skills. Do you know how to use Excel? Are you good with working with customers? Teamwork, that kind of stuff. Those types of skills. Okay. And then the second version or interpretation of that question is, what vampiric skills do you have that could lend useful at a job? Let me tell you mine. Okay. Sometimes you're gonna get Miss Sally O'Malley, who is a curious creature. Miss Sally O'Malley starts to suspect that you might not actually be a human. So they become very nosy, snooping around, trying to figure out, why is this person different? And eventually, is this person even a person at all? We don't want that. We don't like Sally O'Malley's or whatever. No. So, if you have vampiric gifts, abilities, things that might get you out of a hairy situation, that could be very useful. For me, my skills, my forte, hypnosis. Oh boy, does it come in handy, I'll tell you that. When someone starts getting a bit too nosy, or I'm hungry, I will use hypnosis. Now, I don't need an object to do said hypnosis, but I find it strengthens my powers, being able to channel it through an object, an item, and even, let's say, makes it more ceremonial, fancy, I don't know. So I like to use a necklace. Necklace I've had a long time. Again, like I mentioned before, I am centuries old, and so is this necklace. Here it is. So, I like to hypnotize people. Gets me out of a lot of hairy situations and having to work weekends, quite honestly. So, do you mind if I demonstrate my abilities? I can hypnotize other vampires too. It's also nifty for other reasons. Perfect. I won't deeply hypnotize you, just get a flavor, a taste of it. Just so you know what I'm talking about. Okay? All I want you to do is relax. Relax, 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 relax. Snap out of it, it's okay. But you see what I mean? Something like that, a gift ability that might lend itself useful. Even simply if you've been assigned a work project, assignment that you just don't want to do, or they've asked you to work with someone you don't like, you just use a little hypnosis or something and get yourself out of that situation, right? So for me it's hypnosis. That's okay. Not every vampire is so skilled at it. What about you? Do you have any vampiric gifts, qualities, powers that could be useful in a job? That could come in handy. Excellent. Well, this one's big. Okay. Are you comfortable using modern technology? I mean, like, you became a vampire, can remind me? Oh, okay. You know how to use a computer and all that. Okay. Good, good, good. Because most jobs require that. Even ones you wouldn't think require technology or a computer, they all do. So many work emails. So many work emails. Anyway. Do you prefer to work independently or in a team setting? Now, I need you to be honest with me. How are you at controlling your need for blood? Like, if you had to work closely around other humans, could you resist not eating them? They are, or they would be, your coworkers. Okay? I highly, strongly encourage you not to eat your coworkers, because that's just going to be a whole thing, and you'll probably have to change jobs if you do. So you think you have a good handle on that? Okay. but you still prefer working alone. That's fair, I do as well, so. And are you looking for this to be a full-time job or just a part-time gig? Okay. Now, I'm going to assume that you're only open to night work, jobs that can be done during the evening or at night, obviously when the sun's down and gone. But there's some vampires who are, we'll say, open to the idea of working during the day still. As long as they can block the sunlight, they don't mind working during the day. How about you, though? I personally, that sounds a little icky to me. I wouldn't want to risk it for the biscuit. Yeah, night jobs. They are the best. And then, are you seeking long-term employment or short-term employment? Now, regardless of your answer, I would recommend, if you're going for a longer term employment, changing jobs, or at least moving, if you want to stay within the same company, every 5 to 10 years, because that seems to be about the time when people start getting a little curious as to why you're not aging, you know? Yeah, that makes sense. And then, are there any industries or types of jobs that you're just interested in? Okay. Well, I have a list of jobs here, because you stated that you're more interested in night work or jobs that can be done in the evening. I understand. Why don't we go through a few of these careers, jobs, and kind of gauge your feelings towards them, okay? We'll go through the pros and cons, so to speak. First one, night security guard. This could be for a mall, an apartment complex, a hotel, a factory, warehouse. Night security guards are needed in so many different environments, industries. One thing is, I'm assuming, because you're a vampire, you're rather strong, so you might actually make for a really good security guard if you have to, get a little rough and tumble. Someone's, doing nefarious things, and you have to throw them out of the way, get them out of wherever. How do you feel about that? Night security guard. Tickle your fancy? I know, the pay is not great, but it is a nice job if you want to be by yourself. You don't want to really interact too much with others. Okay. Bartender. That's a great evening job. Some bars are even open 1, 2 a.m., You can make really good tips. A nice kind of fast-paced job on your feet allows you to meet a lot of people. It's a good job, in my opinion, if you're looking to have easy meals. I feel like it's one you could get away with hunting at, if you get my drift. Okay. And you can bartend not just at a bar. Hotels have bars, so if you want something a little more bougie, That's also an option. Clubs, lounges, that sort of thing. Similarly, you could be a waitress, but only work at night. But I think a bartender might be more suitable for someone like yourself. Okay. Warehouse night shift worker. Work in a warehouse. Kind of boring, but you're strong. Probably move around a lot of boxes and other sorts of things like that. You could even get trained to drive some of the fancy lifting equipment, forklift, that sort of thing. You're not into that. Okay. Cross that off the list. Now this one's tricky. You'd have to make it work, so you only drive at night. Because obviously sunlight can enter in through a car window, right? A truck driver. That's an interesting idea, isn't it? You get to be alone. Drive around the country or wherever. Get to see new places. But unless you can get tinted windows, that will not trigger you getting pulled over for having tinted windows. You'd only be able to really drive at night. So you'd park at a truck stop or wherever during the day and sleep, and then drive at night. It's an interesting idea. You could even have a familiar, if you would like. Some people have had cats in the truck with them as their truck driver. Here we go. Since you are undead, perhaps you would like working with the dead. How about be a mortuary technician, or even a funeral director? That could be interesting, huh? Maybe it'd make you sad, though. Maybe not. But you're so used to being around dead bodies, I would think that that might be something you'd be interested in. Possibly. Again, I think with that one, you get to work by yourself most of the time. You might have to interact a little bit with the families, but you know, you can make it work. Of course, there's always freelance work, right? Writing. Are you good at art? Anything creative? That's a nice work from home job, so you wouldn't even have to go out into the world, but you'd still have a job and be making money. And it would be entertaining. Could be a call center representative. Often robocalls are made at night. Work at a call center. Although, if you can't do that one from home and you have to work in an office, there's always a chance that there'll be a Betty Lou who brings in their homemade potato salad that's loaded with garlic every single night. It starts to drive you absolutely insane until one night you say, enough is enough. I'm going to put an end to you, Betty Lou, and she becomes your next meal. And again, I don't recommend eating coworkers. I don't think that would be the best thing to do. But if you like talking on the phone, it could be fun. Okay. Of course, there's could be a chef or a baker. A baker's a great one. They often are in the bakery during the AM hours making all the pastries and whatnot, and they go home by 4 AM. Do you like to cook? Or did you? I guess now you don't really eat food, but maybe it would be fun to make food? Well, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Anything feeling right for you? I understand that you need some time to think. We all need some time to think. But I hope you don't give up on the idea of having a job, though. I think it's important. Like I said, vampires, they need jobs for money. They need jobs for food, and they need jobs for fun. So, maybe go home, take a few days, think about what we've discussed here, the options. I can always create another list of other options if you give me some more details on your preferences. But we will find something for you. We will find a job that's the perfect fit, I promise. But I want to thank you for coming in. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions. Again, my name is Becca. Yes. And I'll be expecting a call from you. Alright, have a good rest of your night, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.